Hey guys, welcome back to the Hardware Sense channel. For today we have another Walmart special, and this one is going to be a laptop. Actually, I grabbed for a very good price, kind of a replacement laptop for my wife that needed a new one. She had Asus for quite a long time, so she said it's getting slower. I try to look out for good deals. You guys know me, so Walmart came through again with another great deal, and this is another one. A laptop from them. This is a Lenovo Ideapad 330S. Selling price $450. This was kind of a, the lowest possible price I can get with somewhat good specs, at least in my mind. But hear me out. Let's go through them real quick and see what exactly we have. We're going to do the obligatory unboxing, of course. We're going to run some tests. We're going to talk about the specs. We're going to look inside, and we're going to test maybe a game. You guys stay tuned. I know everybody wants to see some of that as well. So this Lenovo, it's kind of one of those that is the SKU sent to multiple different big retailers, including Walmart. And if you look at their site, actually the pictures are a little bit misleading because they're showing this particular model has a fingerprint sensor as well for her Windows Hello. But unfortunately, it came out without it. I think just their pictures are a little bit different than what it's supposed to be. The actual specs listed on the site show no fingerprint sensor. So just FYI, if you're ordering it, make sure that you really are okay with that. You don't really need the fingerprint sensor. I personally am fine with it. My wife as well. So for the price, I can't complain. This particular one is coming with AMD hardware. So we have the AMD Ryzen 5 2500U. With integrated graphics by AMD as well, which is Vega 8. It comes with 8 GB of DDR4 Ram, clocked at 2400 MHz. One great thing about this particular SKU is that you actually can upgrade the RAM. And I'll show you when I open it later, the slot and what you can do to get a little bit more RAM if you need in the future. We also are getting a 256 gigabytes of SSD drive, which is NVMe. Granted, it's not the fastest, as you can see from the tests, but still a lot faster than normal Sata 3 SSD. So expect faster and snappier performance from the get-go. The size is 256 gigs, so which is okay with Windows. This is my preferable size anyway to keep OS on. And another great surprise once we open that laptop and see all the internals is there's actual slot dedicated for another SSD drive, which is normal SATA 3 2.5 inch drive that you can pop in there for extra storage if you actually need that in the future. So yeah, I think that's very good. Very, very good. In addition, the laptop comes with 1080p matte screen, which again is great in my opinion. I really don't like glossy screens, especially if there's no super fast panel behind them to really make that sacrifice. This is a regular 1080p IPS 60 Hertz panel, matte, like I said, so you're never gonna have problems with any reflections or sun hitting the glass in this particular way that you're not going to be able to read it. In our particular situation, in my wife's situation, she's not going to travel with it anywhere, so it's pretty much a desktop replacement that's going to sit on her desk, and she's using it for personal needs. So there really isn't a big concern about that, but again, I prefer personally to have a matte screen than glossy one. Being a 1080p and a super slim frame, definitely the size of the laptop is kind of what we had from 14-inch laptops back in the day. This particular one is 15.6, but with the slim bezels, the footprint of the laptop itself is very narrow and small. On the right side, we have the SD card reader, we have the reset button, and USB 3.0 port. On the left side, we have the charging port. We have another USB 3.0 port, we have HDMI, and we have the USB Type-C, also light indicators for charging and for power. Once we open the laptop, You're gonna see that as a full keyboard, so we actually have the numlock keys as well on the right side. Again, this is one of the things I think my wife is gonna appreciate, and it's definitely a lot helpful when you try to do some calculations and stuff like that. Having a full keyboard is always preferable. Unfortunately, not backlit, but again, this is not a big problem for me. For that price point, you're gonna find a very few models that actually have backlight keys. Most of them are unknown brands from China, so nothing from the major ones that I can think of comes with backlight keyboard, which I really don't know how much it's gonna cost them to pop in a keyboard that is backlit there. Probably a couple of dollars, but it is what it is. Moving on to the screen again, we have 720p camera placed right on top of the screen on that narrow bezel. Very good if you use it for Skype, Zoom, or anything like that. It's going to be fine for that. Nothing crazy about it. But if we look down where the keyboard is, one of my pet peeves and a little negatives when it comes to laptops is I always prefer to have a metal plate around the keys and where your palms rest. This particular one is plastic, so it might wear off from over time, and you definitely can see some scratches and marks from wear. At least this is what my experience is in the past with different laptops. Metal kind of wears off less and it's better, in my opinion. But anyway, for this price, I guess you can expect more. On the flip side, actually, the bottom is a metal plate that you can take off very easily. Normal screws, nothing fancy, nothing proprietary. Once you take it off, you can actually reveal all the insides and see right away the battery is a 29 watt-hour battery. And on the opposite side above the battery, we have pretty much all the other components, the SoC, the Ryzen 2500U with the Vega, integrated Vega graphics 8 on it. And you'll see we have an actual slot for memory, and not a lot of laptops these days offer that. So currently we have 8 gigabytes total, 4 on the board and 4 on the actual memory slot as a separate memory chip. So you can replace the memory, upgrade it, bump it to, put another 8 maybe, get total of 12, and in the future maybe put 16 and increase it even more. If that's something you want to do in the future, absolutely, no problem whatsoever. You'll always notice the NVMe drive is the smallest possible size. Not ideal in my mind. I wish they have left you space for full-size NVMe drives because they are more available, cheaper, and there's a huge variety of them out there. But that's what they went with. As mentioned, we have the slot for the regular Sata 3 drive or hard drive. I wouldn't put a hard drive myself, but if you want expansion of storage, just get another Sata 3 SSD, pop it in there, you're gonna be good to go. Silent, no moving parts, no nothing. And right above in the corner is the wireless card, which this one comes with Qualcomm Atheros QCA 9377, which is wireless AC, 5G, absolutely no problem. Coverage is fine, nothing really to write home about. It's combo, so you have wireless and Bluetooth. So all the normal things are covered with this laptop. You can definitely use it for work, office, school, whatever. It's a good price. Battery life really depends on what you're doing with the laptops. I really don't test that because some people just do office. It will take a long time. Some people will do office and they watch videos at the same time. That will take less time, obviously. So battery is very kind of a user specific, so I really don't do tests on the battery. My wife, for example, is just going to use it as a desktop. It's plugged in the wall, it sits on the desk all the time, so really it's not going to be used for carrying anywhere. So the rest of the components inside are all visible. They put this black metal plate on top of some of the components. I'm not sure why really is that necessary. Maybe for heat dissipation, but it doesn't make contact with any of them. So I don't know. Maybe that's what they decided to go with. Single fan is responsible for the cooling on both GPU and processor, which is a little bit whiny and a little bit loud, but Lenovo has this option to kind of lower the RPMs when you do FN, and the space bar goes into a sort of a speak quiet mode, so it's a little bit quieter. On idle, the temperatures are very respectable, way below 40 degrees. Soft in office and a little bit of watching videos, it goes up to about 45-50 degrees. That's all with ambient about 24 degrees Celsius, by the way. And for the question of all of you, is it going to play Fortnite? Yes, it does, with minimum settings, as you can see, all set up, but the frames are around 35 to 42, 43 maximum. I would not consider this playable, but if you want to do it, by all means, it's up to you, you can do it. I personally think it's way lower frames to enjoy it and do some competitive gameplay, but as just for the test, I wanted to show you guys and see how it is, and see after gaming for a while, the processor temperature goes out all the way up to 80 degrees, and the GPU is going around 70 degrees, so not really comfortable temps for me. At the same time, it's nothing crazy. I've seen a lot worse in the past from other laptops, but still, I would not use it for gaming, definitely. So yeah, would I recommend this one? Absolutely. For the price, $450, if you need it for school, if you need it for work, if you need it just to be your small desktop replacement, so you can do just things and watch videos and nothing too, highly demanding. Absolutely. I think it's a great price. It's hard to find anything around that price anyway. And this Ryzen 2500U, 4-core, 8 threads, it's not really bad. It has 4+2 megabytes cache, so it can definitely handle it on its own a lot of tasks that are really not super demanding. So yeah, that's pretty much it, guys. Hit the thumbs up if you like the video. Stay tuned to the channel. Subscribe if you're new. There'll be a lot more coming very soon. I'm still working on some of the tests on the pre-built desktop computers you guys seen, so you're gonna see some more videos on that. And until next time, guys, as always, you have a wonderful day.